Well, since the very beginning of gaming, the community...
Wait, did you really think my video was going to be like that? Oh, hell no. Hello, everybody. Can I ask you one simple question? Were you alive during 2010 and 2015? If you were, you might actually recognize this sound.
Well, yeah, of course I remember. That's the platform I used to play on. The good old Xbox 360.
Sit down, Grandpa. Well, if you do remember this era of gaming, you might agree that games in that period of time were heavily inclined to be a medium to socialize, with the private lobbies, the beginning of sending messages in the middle of the match, and split screens. And while games of today still gives us that easiness, you can agree that the social rush is not as big as it once was.
But what are you talking about? I still play in my old Xbox 360 and my...
El 3. Grandpa, wouldn't you like to know how did this era change an entire generation completely? Oh my lord. So, to start with this... Hey, excuse me. Wink, can I be in the video? Are you serious? Yeah. Wink, why did you give me a teleprompter? You already know I don't know how to read. Huh? Then why the f would you want to be in the video if you do not know how to read? 2010 was a sweet spot for the entire gaming community. Did you know that in 1998, only 18% of gamers played online, but in the early 2010s era, almost 78% of US gamers had internet connection? Look, in my opinion, no one would have been able to predict the rise of technology would match the rise of gaming as a more accepted hobby in 2010, because in case you didn't know, gaming had a really bad reputation back then. Yeah, that's right. But there's a beautiful factor that helped this phenomenon: the lack of business models. I need a dollar, that's what I need. What he means by this is that in that era, the most popular business model was to launch a game, launch a little bit of downloadable content, and nothing else. So no fear of missing out strategies were used, no battle pass, and even though microtransactions already existed, they weren't as popular as they are now. So the best tool almost every big and medium company had was to launch a game with such an enjoyable multiplayer experience everyone would want to play it, which is like fear of missing out, but whatever. Whether it was a local offline experience or a private lobby, really interactive experience. But as every single thing in life, it came to an end when the Xbox One and PS4 were launched.
Oh, I remember the dark times for multiplayer.
The day the music died.
Yeah, in 2015, gaming was just not a niche hobby anymore. Year by year, the industry was expanding even more, and the idea of having a full personal space to play video games was not as crazy as it was before.
And that's when the newer business model arrived with Halo 5.
Yes, with Call of Halo 5.
Yeah, the first big game to have wars on. The first game to not have local multiplayer. Not even a split screen.
Well, it does make sense.
Why wouldn't it? I remember how hard Xbox pushed the esports for that game.
343 franchise development director Frank O'Connor explained that adding in the feature simply isn't possible.
Let's settle that. Most of us pro to casual players have started through an offline, smooth introduction to this game.
Next game in the Halo series, a series known for its split-screen multiplayer, will not have any split screen. After quite a bit of heat from fans, 343 Industries have given
And year by year, the Wild West that the multiplayer was before became the structure, rule, business model that it is now.
This year was a massive one for gamers, from the release of big hits like Battlefield 6 and Mario Kart World.
But Still, the idea of Halo 5 being the game that changed everything doesn't sit well with me.
I never said it changed everything. I said it showed the other big companies that the gaming community had the potential to keep spending money after they bought a game.
But just Halo 5?
No, FIFA, Rainbow Six Siege, Black Ops 3, these hybrids of complete but live service games were slowly creating the base of something bigger.
Fortnite?
Let me finish! The new multiplayer era.
Right. In that moment, almost every friend group grew up, got separated by life or social situations, and that's when the gaming industry had to bet on something bigger. Massive multiplayer. If you don't give a gamer a good social platform, they will rather play alone instead of forcing themselves to play. And that's why the division between the single player enjoyers and multiplayer gamers became bigger. If you weren't totally in, you would decide to be totally out. Isn't that right, Grandpa? But I think we are able to enjoy solo games and multiplayer games at the same time. Don't you think? I agree, but there is something you have to admit here. The perfect multiplayer era ended. Do you think it can come back?
I don't think it should come back.
Thought you were sleeping.
Shut up! Every era has a beginning and an end. I don't recommend you to cling on to the past because even though the past feels safer than the future is the only place where we can make better decisions. I don't think I should trash on current generations for having a different way to have fun. Instead, I wish they found a way to feel the same excitement I felt when I was their age. Huh, that's deep. Yeah. Bro, what the
Stop claiming what you own and think about the show. We're all playing the same game, waiting on alone. We're unknown and known, special when I clone. Hate will make you cautious, love will make you grow. Make me feel the warmth.